There we go. You should be able to hear me right about now. Or I hope you can. The 0 people watching. When someone comes in, I'll type it in on the chat. Welcome back. It's the 9th day of the 100-day game jam. And today's goal was one that I had from last time, which was to push a block into a hole. Yeah. So I'm gonna play my game a little bit before I start, but I can move my characters. I figured out what was wrong with the crates, why they were like duplicating. It was definitely because when they were coming into the scene that they were being detected on two blocks, and that it didn't like that at all. So I kind of moved them to like where they should be normally. Now I think I'm gonna do the same thing with the players so that they also snap it nicely into place. I honestly I just had to mess with oh, that wasn't it. I had to mess with my snap settings to get it to be where I want it to. Like you can see, like, this is where he's at, but he's just halfway on one of the tiles. I'll just I'll stop clicking him for one. I'll set it so I'm moving just him. Snap him over a little bit, and he should be in the center. And now we shouldn't have that weird thing. And I'll do the same thing for player 2. Yeah, just kind of snap them over a little bit, and they should be fine now. Hey, then thanks for catching the start of the stream. Oh, wow. He kind of just popped way over. I'm going to do that again. Maybe it's because you have to be on both the X and the Y, yeah. I gotta be careful. There might be a way for me to show actually show the grid lines, but I show rulers, show grid. You know, that might help. Can I? Yeah, and I'll move them down a little bit. Yeah, that seems about right. He's lining up with both this block right here and this hole. That's what I'm gonna use. Oh, let's. Okay, and then I'll do the same thing for player 1. Ooh. Yeah, easy day. And now, none of that popping all over the place. Okay, that was just a quick fix. Yeah, I'm moving over to pushing the blocks in the hole, or I mean, I'm continuing that. That was my goal from yesterday. I just didn't realize how much that was gonna take, and I wrote some more pseudocode to kind of help me out with this. The first thing I'm gonna do is I want to broadcast that the crate is moved on top of a hole, which means I have to make a object for the hole itself. I'm gonna get rid of these tiles and actually make them similar to the ones that I did for the crate. And it's just gonna be a node to 2D and texture using the same texture pack or the same sprite sheet. We're gonna call it a hole. And then let's see if I can do this quickly. The more I do it, the quicker I'll get at it. So I want to add all of my assets this way. Drag it over somewhere on there, and I'll just what did I call this one? Oh, probably whole texture, didn't I? Crate texture, yeah. I'll just call this one texture. I don't need to repeat myself too much. Promoted from background art to gameplay object. Yeah, position 0, 0, boom. And I will be using this again. 8, 13, yeah. and then I just have to find on here. This is kind of small, but find on here where the hole is, and I think it's actually number 12, frame 12. Not frame 12, but frame 11. Boom. Got the hole. Oh, yeah, we're gonna save the scene as a prefab. Create scene, whole scene. I'm gonna make a folder called like objects or something, because that's what these are. I want to make sure I keep things sorted. Save. Boom. And I'll go ahead and move my crate over there also. Create GD, prefab, create scene, into objects. Or rename. Trying to use less S's. They're kind of... I understand there's going to be multiple files in here. So, object. Let's... Okay, nothing broke. That's what I was testing. And now, when I can get rid of the holes here, or there we go, and add them the normal way, or drag them over. Object, hole. See, that's nice and neat. I'll drag another one, and one more. Oh. Yeah. One of the things that the holes have, or they should have, is a script. Hole script. Yep. It's going to extend the pawn GD. Pawn GD. Okay. Dot GD. Yeah, broke a lot of stuff, or a lot of errors came up. I think it's because, let's see, where did I save? It got saved where the object was. Let's draw, because it doesn't know where pawn is. I have to go down here and just drop it into my scripts folder. There. Less pains. So when I go to the hole, yeah, I get my type. I have to make a... I don't have to make a new type, and I already called it hole. Like, me. I'm always glad when my past self agrees with my future self. Okay, I think they all have the hole type now. And what we're gonna do to test that everything works, in our matching cells, we're requesting to move. We're just going to print a, let's say, yeah, don't want to move over it. No, I guess I'll print the message that says, hey, you're trying to move on a hole. Hole. Yeah. Attempted to move on a hole and do nothing. There. That should work for both crates and for the player. I'm gonna test that right now. Hey. So broke it. In hole. Did I mess things up? I probably did. Hole. No, it exists here. What's going on? Does pawn have hole? Pawn has hole. Invalid get index on hole. I don't know what's wrong, but I'm gonna find out, I guess. And let's recreate that. Hole. Invalid get index on hole. So start target match value is 2. Let me sit and think about it for a second. Why would you not be able to get the hole? Or it's no different than the rest. I feel like I'm missing something. But something in my process here. What am I missing? Let me check the crate script. It isn't. I don't seem to be missing anything. It has basically the same stuff. Stop. Yeah, what is in Get Sell V? That's true. I assumed it was gonna be the whole, but it might not be. There may not be anything in there. Well, I think they should be in there because they are children of the grid. And what I do is when the grid starts, I have it print every child, so I can actually see if it's getting loaded. Let's see, and the whole is -1 0 1 2. It's 2. Oh, you know what? Maybe I have to select these. When I run it again, I am gonna check this right here. Since I'm printing out every child, I can also print out like the vector they're on too. Nope, I guess I'll just print like this to see if I got 3 blocks coming up. So, yep, like here at the bottom you can see that I have 3 whole objects laid there. So let's get back to the game. Let's break it some more. Break. About get index on whole. See, the pawn is the player. Direction you want to move is that way. Match value 2. So will the same thing happen on the box? Is that gonna break also? Oh, that jumping. I will fix that eventually. No, these move just fine. Oh, you know what? I said tile map instead of tile type. Typos. That was probably it. Yeah. There we go, and I got a bajillion messages that said, "Hey, try to move on a hole." Like, got it. Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Okay. So I can move on a hole, and now I'm going to do very similar to what I did with the crate. I want to get the crate. If it's a crate, I want to check if it's a crate, or if it's a player, do nothing, which is doing already. But if it's a crate, and so I need to get the. I'm gonna call it a crate because I need to check if it's a crate. Get pawn. If it is a crate, then crate. We can go ahead and emit another signal, which I'm gonna go put in the crates file. Like, hey, crate move. I'm gonna call this one crate sync because and that doesn't need to take anything, I don't think. So I'm not requesting that it move. Maybe it does need the direction and I need to move it. Well, no, I'll get rid of it and just have it sync down. Or maybe later I'll have it play an animation for like actually syncing down. And it wouldn't be too hard to like request the direction and then just do this right here. Go back to this. We need to say call crate.emit signal. Call it crate sync. Oh, yeah, it's if the crate, I need to check the tile type. If crate tile type is equal to a tile type crate. Not crate. That confirms it's a crate. And I can actually call this signal called crate sync. Bless you. And then it doesn't take anything. And I'll still print out that I attempted to move on a hole. And over in the crate, I'll connect the signal to a function called on move the crate, on sync the crate. And I'll print a message saying the crate sank into the hole. There we go. Let's connect it up. I want to do that. I guess I had to copy that every time or find a better way for that function for connecting those, because I still want to be able to check the error. Error equals connect, just in case something goes wrong on Godot's side. On move the crate, come on sync the crate. It exists. It sort of exists. Sync the crate. Let's see if they're the same. And then this right here. Control C, Control V, yeah. Error checking. So let's play it and let's see if I get that print statement. Oh. Dictionary and int operator They're not equal to each other, so I gotta cast them. I didn't realize I was getting a dictionary as one of them. Odd. Or, you know, but I guess it's not get LV. I don't need to do that anymore. Maybe I do. Is tile type the name of the property? I hope so. Let's check in pawn. It is tile type. It is type. So it's actually type. Very, very confusing. There. Tile type is specifically for the shenanigans, for checking the gets LV. So if the type is equal to the tile type crate. Oh, couldn't I? Yeah, just way too much. I'm printing out way too much. Let's lessen that by a degree. Get pawn. Get. Dang, those seem like very important messages. Does it get mad if else doesn't have anything under it? It sure does. I guess I had to get rid of the else also. I'll do the block comments. Control Z. Highlight them both. Highlight them both. Oh. Cursor, get down here. Control KC. Oh. Yes. I didn't realize I'm making so many calls to this. Alright. Let's... And then probably that one. No longer need... Yeah, I no longer need that one. And see, what else is the debugger trying to get me on? It's saying create, yep, create move never emitted. Yeah, you're right. Ignore. There we go. Being called somewhere else. Now let's check it. Nope. Oh yeah, I have to move a crate onto it, don't I? That would make sense. Let's go. Move the crate. Move it. Move the crate. No signal? Oh, I guess I can't move it because it's in the way. I think that has to do something with the player. The player actually won't move, or rather, like the crate won't move, or won't move onto those blocks. Wow. That makes sense. Let's see. How do I stop that? Oh, it all starts with the grid. So if I'm moving on to a crate, there. If I'm moving on to I probably am not getting there at all. Yeah, and I am requesting move. Let's see. Okay. I think it may have something to do with how I'm getting the pawn. The target is not the crate, and I'm not asking for the target. What I need actually is the start. Like, the start is, or I can even do like pawn. I could even do pawn, like, instead of having to get the pawn, I have the pawn. So I could say, like, pawn, if the pawn type equals crate. I think that would be... I'm gonna try this first. And then I'll try the other one. Let's go. Boop. There we go. The crate sank into the hole.
What?
A bajillion times. Man, I have to be careful about... I wonder why I'm getting so many... It's a multiple of 3. I say it shouldn't be a multiple of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. It is a multiple of 3. I thought I fixed something like that. Well, I mean, we'll really find out when I start like doing like, animations, and they all like have the same animation, and then I had to go back and figure out what was wrong with that. But yeah, instead of like that, I can just get the pawn type. So why did I get rid of this? And say pawn, like. Oh, because the crate doesn't exist. And then if it is, I can just say pawn. Simple interactions. I think this will work the same way also. And I can print their ID and name too. Sam, can you print their ID and name or name too to see if they're all printing? I can. I will do that right after this. That actually makes good sense. There we go. Yep, it still works. Let's go into the crate and let's print the crate. Instead of the crate sinking to the hole, that, and then I'll say name plus sinking to the hole.
You just send to the server, hey, I just like press the button to move. The server, and then the server sends back to you the position that you
move the crate. Crate 2 is just sending that a bunch of times, which means I'm requesting to move over there like six or so times. Let's redo that. I should probably put a reload button on this sometime soon too. It's fairly quick to do that now that I have the global set up, like to reload a scene. Move the crate. Yeah. I'll actually note that bug down for later. It's not impeding me right now from achieving my goal, but it is something I may have to worry about later. Like, I don't want to be firing a bajillion signals all the time, but
everyone else does.
Let's see. Signals for crate. Yeah. Fired 6 times.
Could end up changing. Either could end up being where everyone is saying shit all over the place.
Yeah, it's.
Or it could.
Not in the way I know. Oh no, are they like causing performance problems for your game, or like, or like the worst kind of bugs, where it's like it'll seize up everything.
It's what Siobhan recommends as the easy way to do it. So I'm gonna try it out.
Okay. So the next thing I have to do is I want to swap. I want to swap that sprite, or swap the whole sprite with a crate that has that in there. So I'm gonna make a new scene. I'm gonna call it Sunken Crate.
So I define functions to
and pass in that texture.
I have one for the chat. And
Assets.
I make some more
Art.
For the,
Tile
ECM
sheet.
stuff. But then,
Boom.
who's to say, because they're running at different times,
Texture.
Let's sick first, but the packet.
If you have a hotkey like shift click and let go, shift forward click, the game never sees the mouse up. Oh, okay. With input, man.
I don't know if direct is too much, but that
13,
would be a lot of
8.
sockets.
Oh, I don't know where that 8 is.
So
Or
we have to open up 4, so
8.
per
13.
person that's connected.
And I'm using the brown boxes, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm using the brown
Well,
boxes. Yeah, I'm using the
but
brown boxes, so I need
a
to
group
find the
of-
sunken brown boxes,
So
which
I
I
have
think
to have
is right about
sockets for
here.
different functions, and then
Or I
would
could
also
use, or I want to use
multiple
the flat
for
one
each person.
actually. That looks like
'Cause you can't have multiple.
13, 26.
Unless I do,
26 plus 13, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. Frame
So
44.
now I'm defining in my first packet. I say
44.
what function I'm.
I was
going to.
close. 45.
It's like a
There we go.
integer.
And let's put that
And
at 0,
For
0.
the most part, it works. But then occasionally, it's getting messed up somewhere. I don't know why.
Oh, it's accruing that technical debt. That's what's happening. I've said that many a times on my previous projects, like, it's a bug, but we need to continue with progress and we'll fix it later. Just
What's
note it
really
down.
great is
Uh,
it's getting messed up in my code that just doesn't even allow to send packets anymore. Which I could.
Error saving. I don't know what that error was, but I do remember that I need to put it, yeah, put it here in the objects. Is it gonna break again? No, okay. That was weird. Alright. Now I can have the world, or the whole can hold that in its script. It can actually hold a variable. Or I guess I'm doing it twofold. I want to have the responsibility of the whole to change its texture. Oh, yeah, why don't I just do that instead of like making this new thing? I can just have the whole change its texture. Instead of having this. This doesn't need to be here. I'm just like changing which frame it's on. I know it's on frame 45 now. 45. So instead what I'll do, since I'll emit another signal, communication signal, crate on hold. It takes nothing. Cool. And the crate, or the crate would not be able to emit that signal unless it had an instance of the hole itself, but I think I can pass that. I can pass that in. Crate sync, and I need the hole. Pass it in. That stays the same. I'll give this the parameter, and then crate not in the crate scene, but in the grid scene, I'll pass in the target. I'll pass in. How do I get the hole out of this one? Let's see. Oh, get pawn, yeah.
Like I took a story class and I enjoyed it.
So get the pawn at location target. Var hole equals, and then pass it in like this. And I can go back to the crate
It's like science fiction.
and say,
Say we went over.
let's close that.
I didn't actually read it myself.
There, now that I have the hole, I can say hole dot emit signal.
I'll bring it up.
And the signal is
Check.
Crate on hold.
Player
Control
two,
C.
who then becomes a time
On
traveler,
crate.
goes back and impregnates
Crate on
himself,
hold.
which then results
That
in
takes
him
nothing.
birthing himself, and then he kidnaps himself, his baby self,
And then
brings it back in time.
I just had to connect you. Very similar to this one right here.
He grew up.
Or I'll use the top one. Control C.
A lot of people were.
I keep switching scenes and I don't need to. Like, I don't need that
There's a
scene.
fucking- on the Wikipedia,
There. Magically back on hold.
Our
Move the crate.
assignment today was to like draw a graph.
I'm going to change the function to
showing the.
like
Yes, I'll use
I'm swapping textures, but I guess what would it look like in the game? Like accept crate or drop the crate on the hole. Man, swap textures works fine.
So he.
Or
starts out,
I can call it
he was delivered to orphanage. Back in
on
1945.
crate on hole. Sure.
He does this thing I don't know about. He meets a
Fuck.
random dude who seduces her and impregnates her.
Crate on hole, and then I can say
And then
like
she
my frame.
has the baby.
Does that
Then she has
exist?
her baby
Can I click on it?
abducted
Hole
by the person who
or
seduced her.
texture. There we go. I gotta say
It's him.
$ texture
Um,
frame 45.
And then she has a sex change operation.
$ texture frame
Yeah. Well, 1960
equals 45. And I probably want to get rid of the crate also while I'm at it.
That's what I was thinking.
And that's print. I'll do it after all this. Sink the crate in the hole. When that's
And
done,
then-
let's go ahead and it's called Q free. Let's just get rid of this crate. And there'll be one less crate in the scene.
1985.
Let's try it out.
I mean, if time travel exists.
I'm hoping that it doesn't break. Hey. Oh, I got some debugger stuff first. Let's check that out.
Yeah,
Declared never emitted.
that's him.
Accept to connect to a non-existent signal.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that she
You're right.
invented
Crate move
also.
is not a
It was
signal.
already
Crate on hold is a signal though. Control C, Control V, boom. And then it should
after the sex
go
change
to just one, yeah, which is the fact that it's not emitted in that scene. It's emitted somewhere else. Okay. Back to testing. Actually, I have the other controller. I'm closer with this guy.
Who
Oh.
turns into a man.
I won't.
Goes back in time,
I don't.
himself,
I push it and then.
give birth to
What did I do there?
And then he abducts himself to bring him back in time.
One thing. That's weird. Not intended, but it looks all right. Like.
For my English class.
This can't be more than like 10.
I didn't actually read it. We just like talked about it. It's
9 pages? Like, 9
Hmm.
pages.
I mean, it pushed it swapped, but it didn't release itself the way I thought it would.
Wikipedia might be longer.
You,
Oh, never mind.
I may have to use this yield or something. This
But-
is move the crate, but I'm also not able to move myself. So that happens. I also need to get rid of it on the grid now that I'm remembering, and like remove it as it should remove itself as a child. I'm gonna check the remote, or I should ask the grid to remove things. It's the grid controls all the things on it, so I should really, instead of having it remove itself, ask the grid to remove it. Remote, it's still technically there. Q free did not work. That's okay, because I feel like I'm doing it wrong in the first place. Yeah, so to get rid of the box, it's I guess the way it would go is remove the well, to get, I guess I just have to do it all at once. I want to talk it out, but I feel like I have it in my head. Another function that I need, function called remove pawn. I'm gonna go put it next to get pawn. And it takes in the pawn that needs to be removed. So I need to set the cell that is on to open. So let's do like cell position is equal to roll to map pawn dot position.
This is like a reading thing.
Or I could do it very similar to get pawn and
like, all
just
our
pass
papers are
in
on, like,
the
concepts that
let's say
we read about.
get pawn is passing in the grid position. Like there's just multiple ways I can do this, and I want to be somewhat consistent with the way that I do it. It's being called from outside. I could just pass in the position and use world to map. Anyway, because that's really all I need. I don't need the whole pawn. I'm gonna take the whole pawn because I have some other stuff to do with the pawn also. But the first thing is we're gonna make that cell position open. So it's a set cell B. And that takes in the position, which is going to be cell position. The tile's value. I don't know what this flip, or I guess flip X flip Y, because you can do more stuff with it, but I'm just setting it to be opened up, tile type. So all the way at the bottom. Dot open. It's an open spot. And now I can free that pawn, and I can move on top of it. Yeah. Oh, you know what Q was saying? It's Q free, or it would be pawn dot Q free, and then free yourself. And when I go, I think it was in the hole. No, it was in the grid, or in the crate. After you do that, instead of Q freeing yourself, you're just going to, I might just make them hide. You're gonna ask your parent, which is gonna be the grid. Okay. Dot remove pawn. And pass yourself in. Or it's not this, it's self. I swap back and forth between C++ and this, and it can get kind of confusing sometimes. Let's try this. I probably should have put like a debug point where my guy was, and that interesting. another bug. That's probably what I'm going to be working on the next time I get this done. Ah, look at that. Look there. That, and I can move on to it. But I can't move back. I can't move on to that spot. I would like to change those spots to like a sunken box spot that you can move on to, or like an open spot. That's something I can work on. I'm usually switching between C++, JavaScript, and Rust, but I took a couple months between jobs to do full-time Rust. Yeah. Oh.
It's like all of high school.
So I think this is like one of my first projects, or like this is a time in my life where I'm actually constantly switching back and forth between the two. I do C++ for school, or C and C++, and then in my free time I do GD script. So, and then sometimes I try to learn more about C# by switching over to C# projects. Like this one started out as a C# project, but then I found that there wasn't as many function calls as I needed that were in GD script that were not in C#. I hope that makes sense. And so one of the things I want to do in the future is to enhance the Godot's C# library to become closer to what the GD script has, so that I can start using it and like have more C# experience. I think it felt very similar to working in GD script. Yeah, the FFI foreign function interfaces were missing. I've never actually translated a language before, so I don't know what that means. Or I will eventually learn that. I'm pretty sure I'll get put on a project, or I'll start a project where I do that. Okay, back to this. In the grid, I can set where they're at to open. If it's a hole, if it's a crate, grab it. And then let's set cell V here. Set cell V down. We'll pass in the target, and we'll set it to open. Type dot open. Oh. All right. Moment of truth. If this works, I'm gonna go straight to fixing this whole like you push the block but you don't move yourself. I'm not a fan of that. Well, that's not what I intend. I could see how it would work if like you push and then like the box itself like has an animation or like a little dust cloud. It might actually like open up some interesting interactions for puzzles. Yay. That's close. That's kind of what I want, right? I mean, I'm not moving over top of it. I want to move over top of it. I'm going to move another box. Like, darn you not having a Z-plane. Yeah, I just moved behind it. How do I fix myself? Draw order. Yeah, the draw order. Nah. I don't know if these things have a draw order. I'm gonna go find some. Ah, the Z index. Yes. Okay. That's so. Now I have to think about where I want. Time to get out that painter's algorithm. I'd say probably the quickest thing would be to just put my. I wonder if it's going towards or away from me, the Z index. I can, if I just take my player and move him either up or down on the Z axis. Z is relative. If this is true, Z index is relative to its parent Z index. If the node Z index is 2, the parent's effective Z index is 3, and then the node's effective Z index would be 2 plus 3. Oh, okay, no, I the nodes is, let's not do Z as a relative. I see what they're going for, but I don't want that. There, now. Yeah, it's super convenient. Thank you, Godot, for including Z index, the draw order. And whop, and I'm on top. There, let's go test out the other one. Test it with the other guy. Let's go. Yeah, move that butt. Wait, can I? Yeah, I can't move on top of myself. Yeah. Yes.
Have my old,
Now I'm thinking, do I want the hole to be on top? Like, do I still want to be able to see the hole when he sinks in? That might be something, but I'll leave that for another day. I have like 8 minutes, and one of the things that's been irking me since I started like getting more progress into the game was that I wasn't commenting my code as often, and I wanted to spend a little bit of time like going through and commenting my code, because it's one thing that just dropped by the wayside, and I was really set up and really hoping to like keep it all nice and neat. So player, let me go. I even have, or I guess I didn't make it like something like this, but I can copy this one. There, it's very similar to Doxygen style comments. That's the style of comments I'm used to, so I kind of like how neat they are, and maybe eventually one day I'll actually get Doxygen to be able to read this and like generate some real documentation or like a PDF or something. Create GD. There we go. Control V. Create GD. Me. This implementation files for all member functions of the class. Create. You can move the crate and sync the crate. Operations include moving the crate on the grid. Oh. Oh, tabs. And sinking the crate into a hole. Discussions. I'll come back to the discussions if I find that there's anything that I should be talking about. Yep, I really don't have a real way to comment these other than saying what they are. This right here is like connect signals to. I'm connecting the signals to the crate, to the instance of the crate. Yep. Okay, move the crate. Or function headers, honestly. Player. Have those two. Or, class player. That'd be nice to define. Control C. There. I guess one of the things that I'm not doing is I'm not going to comment the functions that get overloaded in GDScript, the underscore ready, underscore process, underscore physics process, or underscore input, because they, for the most part, will do the same thing. For me at least, they'll be doing the same thing. Ready is just going to load up or set everything up for the scene, and I don't want to have to write that a bajillion times. It's not that useful. Not that useful documentation. My words. Crate. Player class in charge of controlling each player. It's a crate that the player can move. Oh. It's an crate object that the player can move. Yep. And it does some other stuff. So there, now I can move forward to the function headers. There. And they just have a simple brief, like, what does it do? Control C. There, if I do Control V, 1 or 2 a day, maybe I can make that one of my goals too, like comment 1 or 2 a day of my scripts. Move the crate. This asks the grid to move the crate in game. I don't need this anymore. I can say, so grab the new position. Yeah. So, ask the grid for a valid position. Or for a new position, sure. If the crate can move, set its new position. And a note. I don't know if I'm doing note or discussion. It's a note. Say positions are, the positions here are global positions. Or say global/local positions, whereas the ones for the grid's operating under both the grid position and the global/local position. I keep writing it so I make sure that I don't forget like which one I'm working with. Okay, sync the crate. Control C, Control V. So what does this do? This see, it's like ask the grid to remove the crate and ask the hole to show a sunken crate instead. Sunken crate. And it's doing two things. I don't. Or I could say it lets the game know that insane. Lets the game know it's not doing multiple things. Like it's doing multiple things, but like it's all for one purpose, which is to let the game know that a crate has sunk and needs to be removed. Boom. That was a nice debug statement. I don't think I need it anymore. I'll just comment it out just in case. It was, who knows, it may be useful later. Boom. But that's really it. I've run out of time. Say thank you for sticking around and watching. I'm gonna go ahead and write my retrospective. Oh, before I forget, I can put in my discussion actually. There, very neat. And the positions are in global and local positions. Yeah, it was a lot of progress. I'm glad I keep like making the goals smaller and smaller because it's really helping me move forward. Okay. I guess this wouldn't be discussion for here. This would be discussion for the grid. I'm gonna spend the time. If I have, I'm not gonna spend the time. I'm gonna put a comment though. Positions are in global, or like positions positions are swapped between global and grid positions. So for the next time, I can remember to put that in my discussion. But say thank you for watching. I really appreciate like having someone to talk to and like rubber duck my problems and even like help suggest solutions, because I might have spent like a couple more minutes or like maybe the rest of the stream actually trying to solve some of those problems. So I really appreciate it, and say I can't wait to see your stream. I know you like stream closer. For me, it's like in the morning or towards the afternoon. And I did pop by while I was doing some homework to see you working in Rust. And oh my God, to me you look, you were doing some really complex stuff. And I'm like, oh no, I can't remember exactly what it was that you were doing, but I'm like, oh man, if I had to code that myself, I don't know if I could. I don't know if I'd be able to get it done on time. But so I'll see you later, or at least in the morning, and I'll pop by and I'll at least say something next time. So thank you. See you later.